यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 We can recite together. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtanah hridayantasto hyabadrani vidhunoti suritsatam नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Nar Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. This is the glories of studying Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So we can continue our reading. Canto 1, Chapter 19, text number 32. 119, 32. Kindly repeat after me. Pariksheduvacha
Parikshit uvacha
Aho
Aho
Adya
Adya
Vayam
Vayam
Brahman
Brahman
Satsevayah
Satsevayah
Shatra
Shatra
Bandhava
Bandhava
Kripaya
Kripaya
Atithi Rupena
Atithi Rupena
Bhavadbhi
Bhavadbhi
Tirthakaha
Tirthakaha
Krita
Krita
Parikshidvacha
Parikshit uvacha
Aho Adya Vayam Brahman
Aho Adya Vayam Brahman
Aho Adya Vayam Brahman
Aho Adya Vayam Brahman
Satsevaya Shatra Bandhava
Satsevaya Kshatra Bandhava
Satsevya Shatra Bandhava
Satsevya Kshatra Bandhava
Kripyatithi Rupena
Kripyatithi
कृपयातिथिरूपेण
कृपयातिथिरूपेण
भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता
भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता
भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता
भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता
परीक्षिदुवाच
परीक्षित उवाच
अहो अद्य वयं ब्रह्मन्
अहो अद्य वयं ब्रह्मन्
सत्सेवया शत्रुबन्धवा
तत्सेवया क्षत्रबन्धवा
कृपयातिथिरूपेण
कृपयातिथिरूपेण
भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता
भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता
word for word Parikshit Uvacha.
परीक्षित उवाच
The fortunate Maharaj Parikshit said,
The fortunate Maharaj Parikshit said,
Aho,
Aho,
ah, adya,
adya,
today,
today,
vayam,
vayam,
we, Brahman,
Brahman,
O Brahmana,
O Brahmana,
Satsevayaha,
Satsevyaha,
eligible to serve the devotee,
eligible to serve the devotee,
Shatra,
Shatra,
the ruling class,
the ruling class,
Bandhavaha,
Bandhavaha,
friends,
friends,
Kripaya,
Kripaya,
by your mercy,
by your mercy,
Atithi Rupena,
Atithi Rupena,
in the manner of a guest,
in the manner of a guest,
Bhavadbhi,
Bhavadvi,
by your good self,
by your good self,
Tirthaka,
Tirthakaha,
qualified for being places of pilgrimage,
qualified for being places of pilgrimage,
Kritaha,
Kritaha,
done by you.
done by you.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Church.
The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto the places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we, who are but unworthy royalty, become eligible to serve the devotee. Purport: Saintly devotees like Shukdev Goswami generally do not approach worldly enjoyers, especially those in royal orders. Maharaj Pratap Rudra was a follower of Lord Chaitanya, but when he wanted to see the Lord refused to see him because he was a king. For a devotee who desires to go back to Godhead, two things are strictly prohibited: worldly enjoyers and women. Therefore, devotees of the standard of Shukdev Goswami are never interested in seeing kings. Maharaj Parikshit was, of course, a different case. He was a great devotee, although a king, and therefore Shukdev Goswami came to see him in his last stage of life. Maharaj Parikshit, out of his devotional humility, felt himself an unworthy descendant of his great Kshatriya forefathers, although he was as great as his predecessors. The unworthy sons of the royal orders are called Kshatrabandhavas, as the unworthy sons of the Brahmanas are called Dvijbandhus or Brahmabandhus. Maharaj Parikshit was greatly encouraged by the presence of Shukdev Goswami. He felt himself sanctified by the presence of the great saint whose presence turns any place into a place of pilgrimage. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you, dear devotees, for your association in person and online. And I seek your blessing so that I can present Srimad Bhagavatam following the mode of our Guru Parampara. Hare Krishna. So in this verse, uh, Prabhupada is referring to many points, but one thing that I am going to focus on is how these great devotees who are sannyasis or who are traveling mendicants, they go and visit the places of so-called materialist. So in this case, Shukdev Goswami, he is a well-known devotee of the Lord. He is Atmaram, he is self-satisfied. He is not wearing any clothes and he is aloof from the material world. He is aloof from the bodily conception of life. He doesn't even care because so many women and children were following him just for fun, just for the sake of making fun of him or sometimes even harassing him. So he did not even concern himself with all that. He's completely on the spiritual platform. So he does not have to come to a king for any profit, for getting anything out of it. But he is coming out of his own sweet will. At the same time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it is not proper for a transcendentalist who is looking to cross over the ocean of material existence, who is engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to associate with worldly minded people, especially women and materialistic men. So, why do these sannyasis or why do these devotees approach a householder or a materialistic man? What's their purpose behind that? So Prabhupada refers to this in Bhagavad Gita's purports at two places. I specifically looked for the word begging because I have read somewhere that sannyasis go begging door to door not for the purpose of money but for the purpose of enlightening the householders in Krishna consciousness. So I found out in the Bhagavad Gita on the back they have something called thesaurus. What is it called, thesaurus or glossary? There is something where they give references for a particular word in the text. So I found begging there. So I didn't have to search it on any. I was trying if I can go without technology, without using Chat GPT. So I found begging there. The word begging is there in the and there it gives references to the verse where it is mentioned in the purport. It also gives the number of paragraph in the purport where the begging word is used. So I thought it is nice to use our cognitive ability rather than using technology. This is called index actually. It's there in the back of the Bhagavad Gita. It's so beautiful. So many references for living entity. There are pages and pages of references in the text. I was looking for begging specifically, so be yeah. So begging has 10.4, so 10 chapter text 4, where Krishna speaks about various qualities of human beings or living entities. They come from him, and 10.4. Let me go there. Yeah. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy, all these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. And if we go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, ninth paragraph. Prabhupada writes there. Yeah. In the Vedic literature, charity is also to be awarded to one in the renounced order of life, the sannyasi. The sannyasis beg from door to door, not for money, but for missionary purposes. The system is that they go from door to awaken the householders from the slumber of ignorance. Because the householders are engaged in family affairs and have forgotten their actual purpose in life, awakening their Krishna consciousness. It is the business of the sannyasis to go as beggars to the householders and encourage them to be Krishna conscious. As it is said in the Vedas, one should awake and achieve what is due him in this human form of life. This knowledge and method is distributed by the sannyasis. Hence, charity is to be given to the renouncer of life, to the brahmanas, and similar good causes, not to any whimsical cause. So, this is why transcendentalist may go to a materialistic person for the purpose of sharing Krishna consciousness, uplifting that person. The verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes, it comes from Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. So this is also given in the purport in this verse, which we are reading today in the Bhagavatam. Maharaj Prataprudra, although he was a great devotee of the Lord, still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want to see him because he wanted to set the example for other sannyasis. So this verse is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 11, text 8. Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanon mukhasya param param jigamishor bhavasagarasya sandarshanam vishainam athayoshitam cha ha hanta vish bhakshanato api sadhu. So when Lord Chaitanya was urged by the devotees, by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, for an interview with Maharaj Prataprudra, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Greatly lamenting, Lord Chaitanya then informed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, alas, for a person who is seriously desiring to cross the material ocean and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeing a materialist engage in sense gratification and seeing a woman who is similarly interested is more abominable than drinking poison willingly. We go on book distribution, so we meet people who might not be inclined towards spirituality, who might be having pursuits of life in terms of materialistic goals, but we still approach them so that to awaken their Krishna consciousness. So that if as long as that is the purpose of approaching them, even women, when we have to talk to women on book distribution, if the purpose is to enlighten them, awaken them in Krishna consciousness, to that extent we are protected by Krishna. But if we see them and we see how they are enjoying the material life, how they are doing well, how they are dressed nicely, they are sharp and very successful in their career, then we may fall down from our progress in spiritual life. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is using those strong words. It is more abominable than drinking poison to see a materialistic man or woman. So in this verse it is said Atithi Rupena. Atithi means one who comes without prior notice. Right? Atithi. Tithi means to date. Atithi means one who doesn't tell you in advance that I am coming. So sannyasis visit like this, or devotees visit like this. They come uninvited, or there's no plan for this. They knock the door. We see many missionaries going around in Bay Area. We know Mormon missionaries. They go all around. Jehovah Witness. And Vijay Prabhu also goes around in Palo Alto distributing books. So this is the service of missionaries. to go door to door uninvited. Atithi Rupena. To give, why? To give mercy. Kripaya Atithi Rupena. Kripaya. They are there to give mercy of the Lord. That is their purpose. And they feel fulfilled by sharing it with others. I shared this story earlier. There was one brahmachari who was begging alms from door to door, and there was a fight going on between husband and wife, and they were very angry that this person came. So they gave him a bunch of ashes and take this as your alms and go away. So the brahmachari took that ashes and he used that ashes to clean the brass paraphernalia used for arti, and he visited that household again after a month or so. So these husband and wife, they fell down at the feet of this brahmachari and they were begging forgiveness for giving that ashes. But this is how we can make, the brahmachari did not take it in the mood of grudge, or he did not have any ill intention. He actually utilized whatever he received from them in service of Krishna. Similarly, in book distribution, we may be rejected, misunderstood, neglected, insulted, but if we can utilize that mistreatment in the service of Krishna to understand that how this is how I have been treating Krishna from so many lifetimes, and Krishna is only giving me a token. So thank you, Krishna, for giving me this reciprocation. I have mistreated you so much, but I have got only a token. Please help me to absorb this, and please help me understand that I'm the most abominable person. I deserve much more than this. We can see Srila Prabhupada disciples who were put into jail for distributing books, for kirtans, and I am just comparatively, I have no difficulty in my life distributing books. Um, Most of the books are sponsored by the congregation. I don't have um, a pressure on my head that I have to raise a certain amount of Lakshmi from distributing books. So many devotees are there to support us in packing the books, ordering the books, sponsoring the books. So many devotees, Prabhupada disciples have already showed us how to distribute the books, what to say while distributing the books. We have seminars on book distribution. And so many places are open for book distribution. We are not being mistreated like in earlier decades, 1960s or 70s, devotees are mistreated. So seeing all this, understanding, appreciating all this, we should be even more enthusiastic to share this with others. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the more one is mistreated, insulted, misunderstood on book distribution, the more he gets spiritual blood for his body, for his spiritual body. Because right now our spiritual body is shrunk in. As soon as we have this tendency to enjoy separately from Krishna, our spiritual senses get shrunk. They are not active right now. They are in a dormant state. So we need to revive that body. And that, where do we get spiritual blood for that body? That comes by serving Krishna, by sharing Krishna message with others, and by being misunderstood and accepting it. Yes, Krishna, thank you. I deserve this. Thank you for this purification. In chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says one who can accept happiness and distress, success or failure with equanimity, such a person is situated in yoga. So in book distribution also, or in preaching, we should accept success or failure equally. Both are being given by Krishna for our welfare. Vijay Prabhu's favorite verse is from Bhagavad Gita, where he says that one who can rise above the duality, or the doubts that come from duality of the material world. We think, oh, this person is honoring me, this is good, this person is dishonoring me, this is bad. So this is the duality, and there's doubts that come from this duality. But we should not have doubt on Krishna. We should know that both good situation and bad situation are arranged by Krishna. So the so-called good or so-called bad, they are the same. They are arranged by Krishna for my purification. So when these sannyasis they approach a person who may be so-called favorable or unfavorable, they do not discriminate. They go to share with everybody. Of course, some people who are envious, for a Madhyamadhikari, it is not recommended to approach them, those people who are envious. But those devotees who are Uttama they approach anyone and everyone. I was listening to a story of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He would go on a walk with his disciples in Boise area, and then he would see people fishing, and then he would go tell that person, my dear sir, you should not fish. In this life, you are fishing. In next life, you will be fished. And people will actually appreciate it. So because he is saying out of compassion and he is saying out of maturity, he is Uttamadhikari. But one of his disciple, he tried to do the same thing, and the person got angry. Who was fishing, that person got angry. So this disciple also went and said, "Okay, my Guru Maharaj is doing, so I should also try to do." He said, "Sir, this life you are fishing, next life you will be fished." So we may not be so qualified to tell this straightforwardly to anybody and everybody, but we can develop our qualification. So Krishna gives us purification. This purification comes by this when we receive the insults of others equally as we receive the honor from others. Both are given by Krishna. I need both of them. So when there is honor, I should take it as Krishna's encouragement for my service. When there is dishonor, I should understand how I can purify myself, accept it, and try to improve my service. But both are good for me. Sometimes people who seemingly they feel like they may not take a book, they may not be favorable, they take a book, and sometimes people who are unfavorable, the people who seem favorable, they may not take it. So there are many such examples. So devotees of the Lord uh, they want to give this mercy to everybody. So we have this story of I wanted to bring some examples from Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni, he is a he's a famous preacher. He goes anywhere and everywhere. He spoke to the 10,000 sons of Daksha who were engaged in austerities so that they can take up the throne and they can engage in progeny, creating progeny, generating more population. So Narad Muni preached to them, why are you engaged in this? Uh, why do you want to go and get engaged in materialistic life? Just chuck it. Just renounce everything. Because go back home, back to Godhead. That's the ultimate goal of life. Why do you want to entangle yourself in material life? And they did it. And Daksha produced another 1,000 sons. And again, Narad Muni went and preached to them. And they also followed the footsteps of their brothers. So then Daksha got angry and he cursed Narad Muni. That Narad Muni, you are disturbing my service of creating progeny. I curse you that you won't be able to stay at one place. And Narad Muni said, okay, yeah, that's what I do anyways. I don't stay at one place. I go and preach. Thank you. So now this is the compassion that Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he came to the West. He got an invite by the son of a friend whose name was Gopal. Gopal, Gopal Agarwal, and his wife was Sally Agarwal. She was from America. They were not devotees, but Prabhupada still approached them, still stayed at their home. He would come every morning from YMCA. He was staying in a place called YMCA, and then would come every morning. He would cook breakfast and lunch, and he would make prasadam for all of them. And so Sally Agrawal remembers this in the memories of Srila Prabhupada. She passed away a few years ago, but she remembers how Prabhupada was so loving and caring, although they were not devotees. Sally Agrawal, they also had meat in their refrigerator, but Srila Prabhupada still came and gave them mercy. So, sadhu like Srila Prabhupada, they want to give compassion. They are compassionate. They cross the seven oceans, or how many ever there are, to come to the Western world and give this mercy to others on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna Upadesh, Amar Agnya Guru Hoya Tara Aidesh. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, whomever you see, tell him about Krishna. By my order, become a guru and deliver this country. By that order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many devotees have gone out and distributed Bhagavad Gita classes. So many devotees have come all over the world. Yesterday I was speaking in Bhakti SF. I gave a Bhagavatam class. I met one Mataji, her name is Monica. She is from Croatia. So she was saying that in 2024 she became more devoted to Krishna consciousness. She committed herself, and then she visited her home country, Croatia, and she lives in a village which has only 108 people. And she was craving for some devotee association. She was thinking, she was driving, and she was thinking, Krishna, how how can I remember you now? There is nobody around me. I don't know. It would be nice if I can meet some devotees. So she went to a grocery store and she saw one guy who was wearing a kanti mala, and she was shocked that there is a person who is a devotee, and she approached him. And this was first time for her approaching somebody and telling Hare Krishna. She said Hare Krishna, and that person said Hare Krishna, and he invited this Mataji, Monica Mataji, to a program called Matchless Gifts. They have a center in Croatia. There are many centers, but this is one of them. And in that center, she came to know that there is a place called New Shantipur. There's a center called New Shantipur, which is right next to her village, which was always there for 12 years, and she never knew. So, Krishna is always there in our heart. Whenever a living entity tries to turn towards Krishna, Krishna shows the way. He's always there, but we are not able to see him because of our ignorance. That's why devotees go door to door to remind them, please chant Krishna, please worship Krishna, please teach others about Krishna. Mm, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Nityananda Prabhu, please go door to door and tell them about to chant Hare Kaho Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shikha. Please chant Hare Krishna, worship Krishna, and teach others about Krishna. And Nityananda Prabhu would teach, please say Gauranga, because he knows that Krishna and Gauranga are same. Bhaj Gauranga, Laho Gauranga, Karo Gaurangera Naam Re, Ye Jana Gauranga Bhaje, Sei Hoy Mora Pran Re. So that Nityananda Prabhu say, please chant Gauranga, please worship Gauranga. Whoever worships Gauranga, he's my life and soul. So Nityananda Prabhu represents the original Guru. So the Guru is there to give us pathway or bridge towards Krishna. So that's why in this verse Parikshit Maharaj is saying, you have sanctified us because of your presence we have become place of pilgrimage. He has said this in this verse. It says, by your mercy we who are but unworthy royalty become eligible to serve the devotee. By your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. That's what Guru devotees do. They sanctify us and they make the place as a place of pilgrimage. I was checking for etymology of pilgrimage. It means a person who goes for in a far distant place for a religious reason to a holy place. And the meaning of pilgrim is also that. And I was also checking the meaning of tirtha. Tirtha, it comes from the word tir, the Sanskrit word tir, which means bank or shore. So it's a place where you can cross over. Tirtha means where you can cross over the river. You know, so pilgrimage or tirtha is a bridge which connects matter to spirit, which creates a bridge between material realm and spiritual realm. So that's the devotees of the Lord. They create portal, they create a bridge between material world and spiritual world. So Yudhishthir Maharaj also tells to Vidura, Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantasthen Gadabrita. Oh my Lord, you are the holy place is personified, and you because you carry Krishna in your heart. So wherever you visit, that place becomes a pilgrimage. So because the devotees carry Krishna in his heart, anybody who comes in their association, they can also access Krishna. So they themselves become tirthas. So it is our great opportunity that we receive this mercy by following the instructions of the Guru Parampara. So we can cross over this material existence, the ocean of material existence, and we take many, many others with us. Just like these sannyasis go all over the world, so we also take many, many people with us. Even though we might be contaminated, we might not be perfect in our life. Like Parikshit Maharaj is considering himself as a Shatra Bandhav. He's saying that I am an unworthy descendant of my predecessors. Even although he is saying out of humility, I am truly unworthy of receiving this knowledge. I am unqualified. But by mercy of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can receive it and also pass it to others. So that way we can make our life successful and take many, many more people with us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I like to be corrected. Please share any questions or reflections.
Lot of reflections, bro. Maybe I'll share just a few short ones.
Yeah, first Vishal and then Timple.
So with one of the things you mentioned about not using technology when preparing for the class, once a month, every Sunday, Keshwar Swami has a live class, part of a course. And this Sunday in the class, he was talking about amplifying your reach and everything. So one of the devotees in the call asked a question like about using ChatGPT to get prepared for a class or try to access some information and everything. And that time Kishore Maharaj said the same thing. We would like we don't want to use it as a crutch. We would like to use it just to access some information, but overall it should be our words and our realization. We don't want ChatGPT's realizations and then expand upon the points that ChatGPT thinks are important for the course. So he was raising that point, and since you were saying you don't even want to use technology to search, you use a glossary, and you may think it's serendipity that you find something interesting, but Krishna wants you to find it in that way. You were saying about that Mataji Christian Mataji.
Yeah, yeah,
She could have searched on ChatGPT and she could have found it. But
yeah,
this is much sweeter that
yeah,
Krishna may not meet a devotee and then meet it like that. So that's more sweeter.
yeah, bro. I want to say one thing here. Actually, in this indexes, there are so many analogies, bro. We don't use this, and
Yeah.
actually, it's so much, it's so rich, and devotees have spent so much time in creating those indexes. We should use them, and maybe there could be a course on this, how to use them. Yeah.
Yes. You were also mentioning about how, to the extent we have this service attitude to be of service to the people that you're distributing books to that extent you'll be protected. There's this Zen Buddhist story that they tell to their disciples about an old monk and his like who he's tutoring or mentoring.
Mm,
They both are crossing, and then they see a river. It's like very treacherous to cross the river. And then there's a old lady who's unable to cross. So the old monk carries the old woman on his back across the river, and then he drops her, and then they leave. And about an hour later, the mentee he asks his like mentor, "You have taken the vow of sannyasi, but how can you carry that woman? You're not supposed to even talk, I mean, or see, or you touched and carried that woman." And then he said, "I carried that woman and left her on the bank an hour ago. You're the one who's still carrying her in your mind. So you are the one who's not protected." So he had that attitude of service. So he was unaffected by that incident. But that other disciple, he didn't even touch the lady or anything like that to carry her over. But she was still in his mind, rent free.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yes, Tim, bro.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to the assembled devotees. Yeah, just a couple of thoughts. You mentioned earlier on in your lecture, Prabhu, that those desiring to go back to Godhead, the sadhikas, they need to avoid worldly enjoyers and women. And then you later on you had mentioned the Uttima Adhikari, the person that could approach anyone and everyone, and then use the example of Narada Muni. I have a couple of other examples as well. There's the pastime, I think it's in the fourth canto, of Narada Muni finding the two spoiled, to say the least, sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nala Kuvar. These guys are crazy. I had to read this one 2 times to, what are you thinking? These guys, they decided to go bathe naked with women in Mount Kailash at Lord Shiva's abode. If it's one person you don't want to anger, it's Lord Shiva. And where do they go? To his abode. And on a side note, it's also mentioned, I believe in one of the purports, that any man that's discovered in Mount Kailash is turned into a woman. So Narada Muni, fortunately for those two boys, is Narada Muni finds them and he curses them to become trees for their benefit, because it's better that the pure devotee finds them before Lord Shiva finds them, because if Lord Shiva finds them, it's not going to be good. And
Yeah.
so for some thousands of years, for so long, they're cursed to become trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. But then they get the darshan of Krishna. And then
Yes.
just another example of a worldly person is Gajendra. But because of previous association with devotees, Gajendra had known a mantra. He remembered a mantra. So there's two forms of the mercy: is a direct association with the pure devotees, and then also just the sound vibration. Also, because Gajendra was by himself with the crocodile, but he had he had the mantra. So he also had that. So a few reflections on my end, and thank you so very much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Tim, Prabhu, for beautiful examples. Okay, so we'll stop here. We're already over time.